Should we do watch this, jerks?
We can. Am I going first?
You
I guess
watched
so.
the Batman cartoon. I watched 5 minutes of it, and then I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep if I watch this because I'm jet lagged.
It's definitely weird. It's the movie's called Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. It's a DC animated movie that is on Max. It is Batman. It's an Elseworlds Batman movie that takes place at the turn of the 20th century, right? Yeah, that's the 1900s. And it's like Batman's fighting H.P. Lovecraft monsters, and only he can stop them. And it gets kind of weird. And some parts of it are kind of neat, and other parts of it are really stupid. So, it's short, though. It's like an hour and 10 minutes.
It's good length.
If you love the DC Universe animated movies and you love Batman, then it's well worth your time. If the mere me saying Batman animated makes you want to jump out a window, then this is not.
They're usually good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. Yeah, I'll probably watch that. I was just jet lagged, and it was, I gotta.
That's fair. No,
catch up. I watched 3 movies on the airplane ride home from Spain. I watched Shazam 2.
How is that? I haven't seen it.
That's another, DC has this thing. They've got it down better than, I don't know, any other company that puts out movies where it's very consistent. Shipwreck knows exactly what I'm going to say. Have you even seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie. Go for it.
He knows exactly what I'm going to say. You watch the movie and you're like, all right, the movie's almost over. It's wrapping up. And then you look down and you see there's 45 minutes left. And you're like, how could there possibly be 45 minutes of the movie? We've come so far. And yet, and it's every DC movie now. Doesn't matter what. Sometimes it's longer. You look down, there's like an hour left and you can't even understand. But again, fucking Shazam does this. And it was cute and they had some good jokes. But I feel like the adult Shazam is goofier than regular kid. Do you know what I mean?
That was the big criticism from movie critics. Yeah, was that the kid who plays Billy Batson is really good
and level-headed and smart, but just like his character is like mature, even like mature above his age.
He's been through a lot of shit. He's an orphan. He's a kid who's been through a lot of shit. He's an orphan whose mother abandoned him, who's been raised by foster parents. He just wants to do the right thing by people because he's a good kid with a good head on
almost. Like he's like melancholy a little bit. Like
mother abandoned him.
Of course. But when he Shazams, he turns into like a goofball.
An idiot.
Yeah, it's very weird. But he's hardly the kid in this movie either. Like he's only on screen for like 2 seconds. But that's sort of what I thought about Shazam. Then
how shiny was it? Was there a lot of gold?
Oh, good question. I don't think so. But Lucy Liu is in it, and Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
She looks old, and she's playing old.
She is.
I can't really recommend you watch that movie. It's too long.
I'm gonna watch it.
You can watch it until the last 45 minutes, and then you've seen enough.
I keep passing on it. It'll show up. It's always the first thing recommended to me on Max, and I'm like, I don't know.
I will watch it on the plane, but like
perfect on the plane.
I had my kid sitting there with me, and it'll be something that we'll watch like together.
Yes.
So I couldn't everything that was on there. I'm like, oh, I could watch this, but they haven't seen this yet.
Perfect for a plane ride. Perfect for killing time on a plane. Then I watched. Fuck. Now what's the movie with Rowan Atkinson as the spy? Johnny
English Strikes Again, right?
Johnny English Strikes Again.
Yes.
I kept getting Johnny Dangerously
ahead of time.
Right. I
watched Johnny Dangerously last week, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty. I watched like the first half of it.
It's been on TV a lot. That movie holds up. Anyway.
It's a very dumb movie, but again, perfect for the plane. And I laughed a bunch of times like a fucking moron. So that's certainly not Shakespeare or anything, but there are some funny jokes in it. But yeah, it's not good. And then I watched The Great Gatsby, which was
okay. I've seen that.
Scorsese?
Baz
Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann, yeah.
I've never read...
I see DiCaprio, my brain goes Scorsese. Yeah.
I never read the book and I didn't know the story.
What?
Yeah,
You
we
never
didn't,
read The
we didn't
Great
read it in
Gatsby?
school. We didn't read it in school.
I read
and
that. I read that actually not in school. I read it when I was like in my early 20s.
Nothing happens in that fucking movie. Not like a
What
single.
happens in that movie?
Not really. Like one thing happens, and then
Okay.
it's
Anyway.
mostly just
it's-
dancing.
One thing happens.
Yeah.
And the book is surprisingly better than the movie.
Yeah, not surprisingly, I guess. I was.
I like
yeah.
the movie okay though. I mean, it's stuff to look at the entire time.
I like the spy movie, Rowan Atkinson spy movie, better.
Okay,
It was
That's
more
fine.
enjoyable. I
You're
laughed
right,
more.
you're right to do that.
That's, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
What'd you watch on TV? Anything good?
I finished Silo. The
I
first
tried
season.
to watch the first episode
What?
of Silo, and I just couldn't. I watched the first half of the first episode, and I was halfway through it, and I came to the realization that I do not care what happens to these people. They could live, they
Boo.
could die. The silo could collapse on top of everybody, and I literally did not care.
I think it's like the most popular show on Apple TV right
I'm
now.
not saying that it isn't, and I
I'm
understand why people like this kind of show, but I watched it and I like the people that are in it. I
It's
like
not even
almost-
slow. The first two episodes, like they get into it right away. I feel like shit starts happening.
Well, that's just it. It's like I'm like, okay, I get it. I
Hmm.
don't care about these people. I think I'm out.
All right. Well, we watched the whole thing. It's very good. You should watch it. Don't listen to Wombat.
Maybe I'll give it another shot. I'm just saying, but I did give it a shot.
Right.
Like at least I put it on. Did you? It was you who recommended the Big Door Prize, right?
Yes. So we watched all that too.
I finished that.
Okay, good.
I like that a lot.
Okay, good.
I really like the Big Door Prize. I like that. I described, my wife asked me what it was like because she didn't watch it with me. And I said, it's kind of like if Lost was a sitcom.
Sure.
That's kind of what it is. It's not, because I don't want to spoil anything. And I feel like hopefully this isn't a spoiler.
Uh-oh.
It passes itself off as being heavy, but it isn't. And there are
Heady or heavy?
heavy. Like it passes itself off like you keep thinking
It's-
something
Yeah.
super serious is gonna happen. And it's not that serious things don't happen, but there's a lot of levity there. And
Right.
and I think the show understands that it's a comedy.
It's a good. I feel like it's a good balance between
is a
heavy
good
and light.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of liked it. Is that
Like
it's
Heavy
yeah.
D and the Boys.
not,
Like, yes.
The balance is there.
You
the
find
boys were
love,
heavy. I thought,
and then you got to figure out what to do with it. That is
Right.
exactly what the show is about. Finding love, and then what you're going to do with
What are you gonna do with it?
it. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. But the Big Door Prize,
yeah, you guys
I
could watch
highly
that, Chip.
recommend that.
You guys could watch that. That's
I'm capable of watching it. I'm
yeah.
sure.
I feel like you would like it.
I actually think you would really like that. Yeah.
It's fun. It's not a depressing thing. You know,
That's
it's
what I
just-
mean.
fun
It's
jokes.
not, it's Silo is depressing.
Silo
half
is
an episode.
depressing. Yeah.
Half an episode, and you're like, oh, this is depressing
It's
shit.
a dystopia. It's a dystopian situation.
Yeah,
so
the
yeah.
Big Door Prize is about a machine that mysteriously shows up in a small town, and when you put in your 25 cents, you get a card that tells you what
$1.50.
a dollar, whatever you put in coins, and it tells you what your potential is, what your life's potential
in one word,
is,
or
in one word.
yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So, I would get a card that would say sex machine on
It would
it.
say pops.
I don't own many pops.
You're not living up to your potential.
I know.
Yeah, it's good. Chip, you would like it. It's
I'll check it out.
Yeah. I think you would like that show.
you know what's cool about my new what are we on? Windows 11 here now? Is that what we're up to? Windows 11?
Sure.
It's popping up on my screen right now. Polluted air starts soon.
Yeah, that is
There's a
good
nice
feature.
little icon
like a
too.
like a happy polluted cloud.
Is it?
my
It's-
favorite- that's
It's
my
like a
favorite
warning
show.
sign.
Yeah,
I feel. I don't like that.
you could change those out.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna make it a smiley face.
Yeah.
What else are you watching?
I have kept up with Secret Invasion. I am caught up. I watched a new episode today that came out today before we did the show.
I saw ads for it in Spain.
I'm trying to say I like it.
Is there
I
any
like
karate?
it too.
Yeah.
I could tell by that intro there.
Yeah.
I
really
know.
like
You
it.
know what it is? Because I know people are going to be like, really? You're watching I know.
Dry heaving while talking about the show is usually a good sign of enjoyment.
The same noise I made when I found Bush Light Peach at Walmart.
It's good. It's still slow. It is definitely like deep cut MCU.
Is there action or no?
Not really.
That's bad.
It's like adult rated though as well, right?
It's not for kids because kids would be like, I don't understand what's going on.
Is there nudity?
It's not even there's no nudity. It's just although there is some pretty graphic violence that I haven't seen in a Marvel show before. In the second episode specifically, there's like one moment where I was like, haven't seen that done before. But it's a spy show. And it's all about, whose side is who on and who's telling the truth and who's really alive and who's really dead. And how is Nick Fury going to prevent World War III from happening? And the Skrulls are bad and some of the Skrulls aren't bad, but maybe this Skrull who's bad is good. And maybe this Skrull who's good is bad. And
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a spy
but it's
thriller.
only 6 episodes. And this was the third one, so we're at the halfway.
You're
point.
invested now.
I'm invested now, and I like Marvel shit, so I'm gonna stick with it and see if it, eventually maybe it'll pay off. Although nothing Marvel has really paid off in the last while. It's been a while since Marvel paid off, which is kind of a bummer. But
Ms. Marvel was good.
Ms. Marvel was very good. I liked Ms. I think some of the TV shows get a bad rap. I think people like to shit on them, but I think Ms. Marvel.
We're
was
watching
good.
Loki right now, so
Loki's good. I like Loki a lot. I think the last 2 episodes of Hawkeye make for a very good sort of self-contained little movie. If you're gonna rewatch anything,
yeah, I like Hawkeye.
Those last 2 episodes, the whole Christmas thing where they fight the Kingpin. And Yelena at the same time. That's a good little self-contained portion of that show. That show also, I think, was underrated. But I understand that not all of it was great. Not all of everything is great all the time. And there's just a lot of it. But there's going to be a lot less of it. So try it while we can.
There is going to be a lot less of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're cutting back on producing Marvel stuff because they are.
They probably need to for a bit.
Yeah, they need to. I think also
they need
for
to get it in order.
But
they need to get that next big wave in order, which is you got to have Fantastic Four and X-Men and.
But that's not coming.
Current young characters. They've got to get. They've got to get the young characters.
They have to figure out what they're doing. Is what they have to do. Yes. I think we get the Marvels and then we get Deadpool, I think is the next one after that. Deadpool 3, which is now officially MCU.
Oh, I forgot. I also watched Wolverine X-Men Origins. I don't know why. I realized I never saw it and I like Wolverine. And now I know why the whole bone claw thing. I thought I was missing something on the story, but then you told me that they fucking just changed it. They came up with a whole new Wolverine origin in the 2000s or something, where Wolverine has bones, claw bones, right?
Yeah, he has bone claws.
Yeah. I don't like that.
What? He has bone claws.
It's dumb.
He was born with it. He's a mutant.
Yeah, but that's not the original Wolverine story.
You mean that the blades were implanted into his arms?
Yeah. The original one, from what I remember from the 1980s, was his power was his healing power, and that was it. And because he had the healing power, they could give him the adamantium skeleton,
which they do,
and the fucking claws, and that was the whole thing. So his only power is really the healing.
He had the bone claws in the early 90s.
Yeah, see, I was already done reading.
Before the retcon of the origin, they gave him the bone claws during Age of Apocalypse. Is the first instance I can think of where they show the bone claws. Now,
not a fan.
I could also very well be wrong. Don't take me as gospel because I'm not a huge X-Men guy. but as far as I know, Age of Apocalypse would be the first instance I could think of them showing Wolverine with bone claws.
It's a real turnoff.
Well,
And
I'm sorry.
I know a lot about that.
Yes.
Real turnoffs.
Yes.
They should make a Wolverine TV series based on like some of the old stories.
The
Definitely no
Madripoor
bones.
stuff?
Like when he's in Japan and like
Yeah.
with his girl.
With the eye patch.
He's got his girl.
They
always-
did introduce Madripoor in the whatchamacallit, the Captain America TV show.
Who? I don't know that guy.
Falcon and Madripoor is not a
Madripoor.
person. Madripoor is a place. That's where
Place.
Wolverine goes during the issues that you're talking about.
From the 80s?
Yes.
I thought he was
Where
in
he
Japan.
changes his name to Patch and he hires himself out as a mercenary
Oh, that sounds
in
lame.
between.
No, I'm talking
the
about when he's
Japanese-
fighting samurais and shit.
Yeah, that's
Patch? His name is Patch when he's fighting samurais, you're telling me?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Patch?
Patch.
That sounds weird.
Well, you sound weird.
80s were weird.
80s were weird.
All right, let's do. What is this? Someone's reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I decided that being on 765 episodes of this podcast wasn't nerdy enough, so I had this hole in my life where I'd never read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy before. So
Nice.
I like
watching
that
movies
two
on the
books have
plane.
been brought up on this episode, and I've read them both, which has
Mm.
never happened. But anyway, please go on.
I read it. I feel nerdier for
I find
Read it.
that book fascinating only because the crux of the Hitchhiker's Guide, which is essentially an iPad. But obviously, when that book was written, there was no such thing as an iPad, and it's pretty ahead of its time for that. Like, I find that to be like mind blowing to me, but I guess not to you guys. I don't know. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Are you going to read the sequels?
I don't know, like it was very much like I like popcorn movies, right? It was very much like a popcorn version of a book,
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
right? Like I gotta I transitioned from this over to some Murakami because I'm like, I need to read something with a little bit more substance.
So what are you reading?
Sputnik Sweetheart.
Is the new one?
It's not the newest one now.
Oh.
I haven't read that, so I'm out of the loop now.
It's quite good.
Are there babblefish in it?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that there's erect penises in it.
Not yet.
Really?
Not yet. I'm early.
Okay.
I'm
Breasts?
only,
Nice.
I'm only like 3 chapters in, but yes, there's definitely. It feels like it's leading that way.
It's horny.
It's definitely horny.
He's so horny, that guy.
Yeah.